On RiverBender.com.
As they drag you by your feet, but the hangman isn't hanging, and they put you on the street. Yeah, you go back, Jack, do it again.
I beat the bed. 10:14, welcome back. Daily Show hitting you on a Wednesday. Lacy McDonald back in studio because 100 years ago, people were still acting crazy.
Yes. Then, now, I don't think
Forever.
that's ever, going to change or been different.
So this one's got to be a fun one for you to write.
Yes. It was really fun. It was also very frustrating because, background, there was a couple that got married, Bernice and Clarence Geisler, and they were married for about a year, and then their fathers had swapped horses at some point. I don't know why. It didn't say why. And the horse of the husband's father that he had gotten in this trade was balky, which I looked that up, and it means it would just like randomly stop, which is not great for a horse to do.
I wonder if that's where they got the baseball term, balk.
Oh, I don't know. Words are so interesting because you can think you know where they came from,
and you don't.
You know, and who knows what language it started out as. But anyway, so he'd had the horse for 3 months, wanted to trade it back, and Charles Ontis, the father of the wife, said no. Apparently, in the meantime, the horse had gotten into some barbed wire, had been injured, and also it had been 3 months. And he was like, if you wanted to trade back, why did you wait 3 months to do it? And the other guy was like, well, I didn't know it was balky until I'd had it for 3 months, all this stuff. So instead of just like coming to an agreement like adults, everybody flipped out and it broke apart the family. So Bernice,
I'm sorry. That is just like, I just like, whoa. But it makes sense.
It makes sense, but also like, were there underlying?
That's what I'm getting at here. I think there was something, there's some finagling going on somewhere.
She did live with her husband's family. So it was probably like, as a couple, they lived with his family. So that probably made it a little bit more tense because it wasn't like your in-laws that live elsewhere. It was like you're in the household and your father-in-law is mad at your father and your husband is not taking your side. It was a whole thing. So she packed up, went back home, and then they never got back together. Oh, but the reason that it was frustrating, that wasn't the part that was frustrating. The reason it was frustrating is there were all these articles about what a big deal this was. It was in the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. There was an article a couple days later that said that it was going to be in the December. It was going to go before the county court in December. And it said, it is anticipated that the lawsuit, when it comes up in Judge Chapman's court, will be an intensely interesting one, as so many witnesses have been subpoenaed and the whole Nutwood Drainage District is keenly interested in the trial. And then there was never anything printed ever again.
No. See, that's my problem. You cannot just make a damn grandstand about this horse swap gone wrong and then leave it open to interpretation. This isn't The Sopranos. This is real life.
It makes me hard. I mean, it makes it hard for me to do my job.
Amazing. Like, come on.
I tried a whole bunch of different keywords in the Telegraph. I tried to figure out if I could access Jersey County court records. It may be possible, but I wasn't going to go to the courthouse to do it.
We got a relative that's alive that knows this story?
Well, neither one of them had children, either together or with other people, which was actually part of why I was more comfortable writing this, because you don't want to have someone call in and be like,
100 years ain't that long ago. Yeah.
Or like, they got back together and everything was fine. Why'd you bring this up?
We haven't talked to that side of the family since.
Yeah. But here's an interesting side note that didn't make it into the article. So this was happening in August, the end of August. And then in September, there was an article that said it was a completely separate thing. It was a legal thing, but completely separate thing. Just when I was looking for more about this Clarence Geisler character. And it said, grand jury returns 5 true bills Wednesday. Didn't say what this was about. But the grand jury returned 5 true bills, one against Clarence Geisler, alias Monkey Geisler, for burglary and larceny. And
He stole his horse back.
I don't, yeah. Like,
He
what
stole his horse
happened?
back.
Doesn't say.
Oh my God! Oh, this is frustrating.
And then it never mentions him again as Clarence or Monkey Geisler, except when he like moved away and was back visiting.
Who comes up with these nicknames? Have you
Right.
noticed back in the day had the most unique nicknames? It's like, what are we doing here? You know, I'm just offended that there is no there is no ending point on this. It's not your fault. This is not your fault.
Thank you.
I'm so involved now into this horse swap gone wrong.
Right. And like, would they have gotten back together if he hadn't been in like,
What?
you know, in this grand larceny thing too? Like, did that happen? Or was it horse related? Was it not horse related? There were other people involved who had different last names. And I can't tell if they were doing whatever he was doing. I mean, the bail in his case was fixed at $1,000 in 1924.
That would be insane.
Yeah.
How much would? Oh shoot! Oh
I
my
know.
goodness! I got to do the info. Okay, I got a question. Why is it
Yeah.
called the Nutwood Drainage District?
Yeah, okay, so I looked that up. And it is the Nutwood Drainage and Levee District. This is from the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. And this is from 1962 for the Flood Control Act of the 23rd of October, 1962. So it talks about the Nutwood Drainage and Levee District, which protects 10,360 acres of primarily agricultural land located in Greene and Jersey counties on the left bank of the Illinois River. So it's a levee, a federally constructed levee, and then it goes into like the details of how tall it is and stuff. But yeah, it's just an area of Jersey and Greene County.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
A little different name. Well, I got something for you.
Okay.
He would have been posting today $18,000 bail.
Yeah, that's a lot for possibly stealing a horseback or maybe
Well, they were like
something
cars
else.
back then.
They were. Yes, that's
You know,
true, because not everyone had a car
Yeah,
yet.
that's true. They weren't saying, "Hey, howdy, half the road's yours." You know.
And I mean, this is assuming it was used for agricultural purposes
Yeah.
too. So I mean, this could have been their livelihood.
Like tractor too, because not a
Yeah,
lot of people
yeah.
could afford. That's interesting.
Right.
Hey, we got to. Are you okay? Can we take a quick break? I'm behind on my commercials. We got to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere and don't let me catch you horsing around. We'll be right back.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
On sick leave.
Everyone can tell you're here, CJ.
That's the worst part about this, because we've all had those days where you just want to, I'm just off today, out of the office. You have the email that kicks back automatically, and they're like, well, you weren't, okay. So where the hell were you before 11 o'clock? Is what that's one of the things they don't talk about in this role. But you know what I don't have to worry about? Having my horse swapped for a dud.
Yeah.
This guy did.
Well, but what? Why did he swap the horse in the first place? What about the other horse? Why did he swap the horse if it was fine and then he got a bulky one? What's wrong with the other horse?
Was he guilt tripped into by his wife to do it because maybe the father-in-law really liked the horse?
Oh, I don't know. See, these are the details that we'll never know. Keeps me up at night, CJ.
This one's going to bother me for quite some time because I just don't understand how this whole damn marriage ended on a horse.
I mean, there have probably been marriages that have ended on less.
Well, that's true. That's true. But what do you think did it? I mean, was Harry Chapman a good judge?
I don't know because we don't know what happened the sheriff subpoenaed 20 people. He
That's
spent
what
the
I'm getting
entire week talking to witnesses, and then I can't.
It dies on the vine.
You know what? And maybe when Clarence stole potentially the horse, that ended everything. Maybe that's why we don't see any evidence. But it seems like that would have been an article too. So I have no idea.
Now, when was he arrested after the divorce?
Well, I don't know because he was arrested in September. All this happened in August. He was arrested in September. And then the next thing I could find was that she married someone else in 1928, so 4 years later. And on that, and this happens a lot because back then you can kind of I don't want to say hide, more like obscure your past in a different way than you can now. So it said Miss Bernice Ontis, MISS, no, nothing like she'd ever been Mrs. Geisler, nothing like that. Just, and it was the young people will be getting married, and she married someone else. And that's who she was married to until, I think, his death years later. And then Clarence moved to Jacksonville, married someone else in 1969. So she married someone else in 1928. He didn't marry someone else again until 1969. And then he only died 4 years after that. So in Jacksonville.
Okay, this is what I find really fascinating about this. They didn't have children. That's why you chose to write about it.
That's part of it, yeah.
Part of it, yeah. But, I mean, what's wild to me is that Bernice dies in 1989. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's wild how even though 100 years ago this happened, there's still, 1989 isn't that far long ago, I mean, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, there's just a tie into more of a local or a more current time. That's pretty cool.
Right, yeah. And she died in Alton at St. Joseph's Hospital. She worked at Western Cartridge Company.
Was anyone a neighbor to Bernice? I'm going to ask this on the show.
Yeah.
If you were Bernice Geisler's neighbor, okay?
Well, she would have been Bernice Ontis and then Bernice Vaughn. She was only Bernice Geisler for about a year.
Well, Bernice Vaughn. We're going to find out this story. I am dead set on figuring out what happened here. Because it's just like you said, you can't interview 20 people, waste a week of taxpayers' dollars on your salary, and then have no trial.
And maybe they did, and it's just not... it could be in the basement of the Jersey County Courthouse, and I just, again, at some point I have to say, you know what?
It's over.
It's over for this.
How do you do that?
Work.
Because it drives me crazy.
I have a whole bunch of emails to answer and phone calls to, I mean, it comes down to priorities. So the priority is to get the article written. And then I have to at some point be like, this is good enough. And
you did a good
the
job.
next step would be too much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You did a good job.
You. Yeah.
I wish I knew what happened to this darn horse. It's amazing though. Like it sounds amazing to me, but I'm sure that there was probably very similar arguments all the time in the 1800s or even up to the 1900s with horses.
Oh yeah. I mean, it was extremely important to have horses that could do what you needed them to do. It wasn't like you just wanted to ride a horse and if it wasn't able to be ridden, then oh well. Like this was.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Like this was a huge deal, and so. The fact that there were certainly way more lawsuits concerning horses than we would expect because it was so important during that time. So, to us today, it's like okay,
tongue-in-cheek, kind of funny. Yeah.
But at the time, this would have been very serious.
Yeah.
So, I get why. The weirdest part was just that we didn't get to see how it all played out because I would have really liked to know what. Right, we will. No, I would have really liked to know how it all went and what the witnesses said. What they were actually being interviewed for. Was it related to like the actual agreement? Was it related to the horse's behavior? Like what were people being subpoenaed to discuss?
Yeah.
So,
well, to me, it's like getting no different than a backhoe that doesn't have a hydraulic system. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's what you would use a horse, or not, maybe not a backhoe, but any type of drudging or any type of, combine system.
Yeah.
If you don't have a hydraulic system and you traded for that combine, you're going to sue the guy because you're going to spend $150,000 to repair it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's kind of like,
wow.
And this can't always be helped, but maybe doing business with family members.
Never.
Is not the best idea because situations like this can occur and you don't want that to mix with personal relationships.
Now, was Clarence a good guy towards the end? You got anything on his obit?
Not as much because he was in Jacksonville. So I would really just see like that he came to town to visit relatives. Nothing else with the whole larceny thing.
Did they alert people when they visited relatives and stuff?
Oh yeah, it was printed in the Alton Telegraph. It would say, so and so was visiting so and so for the weekend. It would sometimes have what their relationships were, like their aunt, whatever. Which is one of the ways we can figure out when women had their married name, especially because they were referred to, like she would have been referred to by the like Mrs. Clarence Geisler in articles when she was married to Clarence. So that's how we can figure out sometimes women's maiden names and stuff if they say like this person came to visit their aunt or whatever. So yes, it was, when people went on trips, when people came to visit, sometimes when people went to lunch with each other, it was just that constant social information was in the Telegraph. And in all newspapers, that wasn't just specific to here. It's so interesting. And it makes you a little bit sad about newspapers now. I know other people have, they're like, oh, there's not as much local stuff. I agree with that. I wish there was more local news, and y'all do a good job with that. But
yeah, we do the job for them.
The social part of it, the who was interacting with who, the what clubs people were in, all of that is not in the newspaper anymore.
I did, but see, the thing is, though, my generation probably never knew it existed in the newspaper.
No, and I didn't until I started looking into this because it was.
When did that change?
That's a good question because some of it is privacy issues. I mean, it's.
Right.
You don't want to provide all of that necessarily to everyone all the time.
Right. That's probably a safety concern.
And also social media changes everything because a lot of that is on social media now. You say like, oh, I just went on this trip.
Right. Yeah.
And that's fine, but that isn't something that we have access to in order to preserve for the future. So
correct.
I can't like just print out everybody's Facebook page and put it in the collection for people to look at 50 years from now. I don't do that.
You know what would be a great exhibit? What? Social media during COVID.
Yes.
And maybe you black out the names, but just how conversations changed. You know what I'm saying? Because everyone got very hateful for 2 years, I think. Not everyone, but 90%.
It's hard to look at now because you go back and you get right back into that those feelings of just the overwhelming horror and feelings of helplessness and isolation. I mean, it's
so bizarre. I mean, it's hard. It really is. But I mean, you're right though. it's great that you brought that up because I would have never thought ever that, well, it's like Mr. John Smith was in town to visit his brother-in-law and they played cards and he left. You know, like I would never even have thought of that being important, but that definitely tells our story.
Well, we even have, like, we'll have people that come in to research their houses.
Yeah.
And we don't always have photographs, but we might find something like, oh, this was a party that was hosted at your address in 1950 and they brought in peonies from the garden. And so then you get kind of a sense of, okay, well, now we at least know that there were peonies in front of the house. Like stuff like that. So it's kind of fun to be able to paint the picture a little bit.
See, this is why I couldn't do your job, because I'd spend a year and a half trying to figure out what happened to friggin' Clarence over here in his horse, and then we'd have no other projects getting finished, you know?
Difficult, and I actually have had to pull back on these just a little bit because...
You're entrenched?
I'm like, I'm going to find out everything. And so...
I love it.
With this one and the last one, and some of the ones coming up, I'm trying more to like just focus on the moment. And then if I need to pull a couple of other things, fine, but not be like, well, I'm going to the courthouse and I'm going to look in the basement until I find this, because that's not really what I need to be spending all my time on. But yeah, it is. And it's so funny too, because a lot of times we don't know if something's going to be hard or not. So like a patron will call in and say, hey, I'm trying to figure this out. And we'll be like, well, it might take forever. And then 5 minutes later, we've got everything. And then, you know, it might be something that seems super simple and we never find it. So,
you know what? You're good at what you do, Lacy.
Thank you.
And I love talking about how, well, the horse swap destroyed a marriage. It's It's a shame. I got to find out what happened to this lady. I'm telling you, it's driving me crazy. If you were neighbors with Bernice Vaughn, Vaughn, passed away in '89, I'd like to talk to you. Anonymous. We don't even have to put your name out there. We'll figure this out,
okay,
though.
Good.
What if I actually get somebody I would die. I would die.
Like, CJ, I have a list of things I need you to ask on the show.
That's incredible. Lacy, always good talking to you. Anything
too.
at Genealogy you want to share?
We have our branching out classes coming up the second Thursday of the month and then the third Thursday. So I'll talk about that next time. One of the shows in September, I would like to talk about the Mississippi Earth Tones Festival and the Hainer Library booth that's going to be there.
Perfect.
But yeah, nothing coming up in the next week or so.
Perfect. We'll talk about it all. And hey, you can catch Lacy on RiverBender.com once a week with her 100 Years Ago article, or hang out with her right here 10:10 every Wednesday on RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Make sure you get your Hainer library card because you can unlock everything. I call Hainer a door. Just a door. It's a door to adventure, fun, you know, knowing, learning, development. Anything you need is pretty much taken care of, courtesy of Lacy, Marion, the great people over at Hainer Library. Whether or not you need them for the library of things because that TI-84 calculator broke the only time you need the darn thing all school year, why fight Walmart? Go in there, check it out, then you bring it back and you're taken care of. Stan Mixer's ghost hunting equipment, the seed library, that's awesome.
Yeah.
The resource center, the databases, genealogy and local history, where you can discover your family's roots and so much more. Go to HainerLibrary.org, click on How Do I Get a Library Card, click on that, put your email information in and your address, and you're taken care of, courtesy of your friends at Hainer Library. HainerLibrary.org, and get your library card today.